When a man secretly desires a woman's life, he often disguises his envy as love, support, or admiration. Beneath the surface, however, he longs for her favor, influence, gifts, and destiny. He doesn't just want to be with her, he wants to be her. Or, at the very least, take what was meant for her, the blessings, opportunities, and success she has worked for. Rather than forging his own path, he seeks to absorb her energy, mimic her strengths, and, in some cases, replace her altogether. A jealous man may not always show his true feelings, but his actions can be damaging if left unchecked. Jealousy often stems from insecurity, fear of inadequacy, or even a subconscious recognition that she possesses something, whether intelligence, beauty, success, or influence, that threatens his sense of worth. Instead of celebrating her gifts, he might try to compete with, undermine, or sabotage her progress. Some men, recognizing her favor, talent, or divine purpose, may feel compelled to bring her down, even without fully understanding why. They may manipulate, drain, or take from her rather than contribute. In some cases, this can turn into a spiritual attack, where the enemy uses people, even those closest to her, to delay or redirect her purpose. If a man becomes aware that a woman is on the verge of a breakthrough, whether spiritually, financially, or personally, he may deliberately impregnate her to slow down her progress and alter her destiny.
I wanted to talk about the situation with Hie and DDG specifically because I think women really underestimate. Like, this is the perfect example. Do you know what that girl would likely be doing with her life right now if he didn't come in and disrupt everything at the juncture of The Little Mermaid? Yes, she's still a celebrity. Yes, she's still very gifted and talented. However, he has completely disheveled her shit. And I'm sure she's trying her best to maintain some sort of sense of balance and emotional stability given the circumstances. But that is what choosing the wrong man will do. He will completely shift everything, turn everything upside down, and it will require you to pivot when you didn't actually need to choose that route. It's very unfortunate because you could see the trajectory of her career and it literally was thwarted. DDG is trying to destiny swap with her. I need y'all to pick it up quicker. Pick it up quicker. He's trying to destiny swap with her. And so your decision on who you procreate with, who you choose to attach to, live with, marry, all of those things matter because it can either push you into your destiny or completely throw you off course. And what you are watching is a man who is trying to destroy her career inadvertently and her reputation, because her reputation is directly connected to her career. She has always had this persona and image of being a very meek, kind, gentle-spirited woman. And now he's trying to intentionally paint this image of her being something that I'm sure she's not, or maybe she is, who knows. But the point is that choosing the wrong person will take you in a direction that you do not want to go. It's never as light as, oh, I'm just gonna see where this goes. Oh, blah, blah, blah. That man is a menace. He's a menace. He's a menace with a little bit of change. And he's going to spend the next few years of her life disrupting her stability, and it's unfortunate.
A pregnancy, while a blessing in the right context, can be a heavy burden if it's not aligned with God's timing or will. It can derail plans, limit opportunities, and create emotional or financial struggles that weren't there before. The man may see her elevation as a threat and seek to bind her with responsibility, stress, and emotional turmoil. This is a form of control and possession, making it harder for her to focus on herself or her future. Signs that a man may be manipulating a woman's destiny include becoming reckless with protection despite knowing her goals, downplaying concerns about timing or readiness, or pressuring her into unprotected encounters. He may act negatively when she talks about ambitions or plans that don't center around him. Through emotional manipulation, he keeps her focused on him rather than her goals. He might try to control her time and energy, making her feel guilty for prioritizing herself. His ultimate goal is to tie himself to her success.
DDG definitely trapped Halle with that baby. And here's why I say that. So he went on his podcast and he basically said, we're going to be family until we're 99. Until we're 99, I'll turn somebody into Swiss cheese over her. We're attached forever. We're family. He's like, I'm not just some random dude. So y'all talking shit about me, blah, blah. When it comes to her, y'all hurting her too. y'all talking so much shit about me, that could affect the way I parent. There is literally nothing, and I mean nothing, anybody could say to me on any platform that would affect the way I am as a mother. He wanted to ensure that he will be attached to that girl for the rest of her life. And honestly, I feel like she left him. She left him. She finally said, what the fuck? Because the fact that you keep talking, and my girl hasn't said a beep, a peep, nothing, nada. Isn't Beyonce like they auntie or something? She's never going to say anything. She's going to quietly move on with her life as she should. You hurrying up to put out a statement. You on your podcast talking about how I would tell my younger self not to get into a relationship because it's distracting, but you got that girl pregnant at the height of her career. If that's not a goddamn distraction, I don't know what the fuck is. And I know someone goes, oh, it takes two. Baby girl is green. She was green. He is quite seasoned. Quite seasoned. And he knew the only way to maintain that relationship, that she wouldn't be so quick to listen to people telling her to get the fuck away from him, is if she got pregnant.
Swapping destinies could significantly boost his career, granting him fame, success, and lucrative opportunities. He would gain access to exclusive events, influential connections, and financial stability while leveraging her established reputation to advance his own goals. If she becomes pregnant and steps back to focus on motherhood, he would inherit not just her resources but also her career opportunities, endorsements, and media presence. With public attention shifting to him, he could capitalize on her platform, elevating his status and expanding his brand. This newfound prominence would open doors to creative ventures, collaborations, and financial growth, ultimately positioning him as a leading figure while she prioritizes motherhood.
Is the Little Mermaid really a demon? People are like, oh my god. Hailey Bailey being called out by all of social media because DDG has come out publicly about their relationship. They have a son together. DDG and Hailey broke up in October of 2024 with a tweet. He broke his silence. He said, been fighting to see my son for months now. Shout out to all the dads who try their best to be there. This sucks. He's saying, I don't want to take it to the internet, but I'm taking it here now because I'm coming as a dad that doesn't know what to do. I'll tell you this much. The internet's not going to tell you what to do. You need to call a lawyer, talk to your family, talk to your mother. All this, first of all, should be private matters. Me as a father, I think that is one of the worst things that a man can ever go through. People think shit's cute. Oh, have a kid is cute. I want to have a kid. Oh my god, I want to have a little kid. Oh my god. It's almost like they think they're picking out a fucking dog. Hell no. I don't know if him bringing it to social media helps, especially legally. He keeps alluding to like she's being mean, but he doesn't want to really say it. Why doesn't he really want to say it? We're talking about the little fucking mermaid. This is the Little Mermaid. This is not Jenny from the block. He probably doesn't want to fuck her shit up. She's Beyonce's artist also. You kind of opened the can of worms already. You might have to spill the whole shit.
You're documenting this beef for your child to see it when they grow up. Kanye does it. Like, this shit is so frustrating. It's so weird. I find it so cringe. Second thing, I feel like this is for clickbait. And that's what bothers me, that I can't tell. He manipulates the public so well.
You need to know who you're having a kid with. When you have a kid with someone, you need to make sure that their family is a good family, that they have good friends, that they're solid people, that they have a support system.
When a man attempts to swap destinies with his successful woman, he often resorts to sabotaging her reputation to accelerate his own rise. This can manifest in various ways, from subtle undermining to outright public humiliation, all designed to shift power and influence in his favor. One of the most common tactics is spreading negative narratives about her, either directly or through insinuations. He may plant doubts about her character, work ethic, or professionalism, making it seem as though she's difficult to work with, ungrateful, or even unworthy of her success. By doing this, he weakens her credibility, creating an environment where people start distancing themselves from her, while simultaneously positioning himself as a more appealing alternative. Another method involves exploiting her vulnerabilities. If she confides in him about insecurities, struggles, or past mistakes, he may strategically leak or manipulate that information to tarnish her public image. This can be especially damaging if he frames her as unstable, unreliable, or out of touch with her audience.
And I hate that every time I got something going good, it's always some type of drama, some type of something going on in my life. I've been doing really good. I've been keeping my head down, just working, waking up every day, working, dealing with this shit on the same breath. Nobody will really know. And she got this fucking golden image that I've also protected. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'ma keep doing that because I'm a real nigga. But this shit is foul, bro. Like,
Notice how he admits to protecting her golden image, as if it's nothing more than a fragile illusion. The very image he's desperately trying to tear down, the one he can't seem to escape. It's almost ironic, isn't it? The more he tries to destroy it, the more he reveals his own envy.
But even that DDG shit, and that was the issue I had with it, right? Or his ex, I guess, which is Halle Bailey, aka The Little Mermaid, you know what I'm saying? I genuinely didn't have an issue with him coming out and talking about the custody battle. It's how you're doing it. And now you're creating that image of what you're talking about, right? You're creating that image, or you're pushing an entire group of young black men now that fuck with you, DDG, to a whole different side they don't need to be at.
Yeah.
Here's my point, right? The nigga doesn't say, okay, yeah, you know, like me and Halle are in a custody battle and like I'm really like trying to just see my son, etc. No, the nigga gets on live and it's like, she kicked me out the crib, so I just want to see my son. Then the nigga drops another video. Then the nigga drops a song called Don't Take My Son official audio.
Don't
My nigga, Jesus Christ. And then,
Y'all think it's fire?
I haven't stopped it.
I haven't
Nigga, it's some
that.
bullshit. Nigga, nigga, it's some bullshit. Nigga. Then the nigga comes back the next day as everything then blows up. Shade Room catches onto it. Everything blows up. The nigga comes back the next day and says, nah, I'm really not even trying to pursue no legal shit. It's just, you know, I just want to get my... Yes,
Wait, I
bro.
thought you were in custody.
No, wait, no.
A man like this might encourage self-doubt or burnout. By subtly questioning her decisions, dismissing her achievements, or overwhelming her with emotional or psychological stress, he can push her into a state of exhaustion or discouragement, making it easier for him to step into the spotlight. If she begins to falter, he can position himself as the stable or supportive figure who deserves more recognition. In more extreme cases, he may manufacture conflicts or scandals, portraying himself as the victim of her alleged mistreatment. By painting her as controlling, egotistical, or problematic, he can gain public sympathy while making it socially acceptable for him to take over her role, projects, and opportunities. Once her reputation is sufficiently weakened, he can seamlessly transition into her space, inheriting the career benefits she once enjoyed. With public perception now favoring him, brands, media, and influential figures may shift their support, cementing his rise while she struggles to reclaim her former standing.
So today I wanted to discuss the topic of destiny swapping. And I'm just going to use some examples from, you know, most celebrities because everybody knows celebrities. So I can kind of give you an example of that other than it being somebody that you personally knew. But one example of destiny swapping is Offset and Cardi B. Like, and don't get me wrong, I like Offset. I like some of his music. But a lot of the times we be thinking, oh, it's the person that's personally doing it, when sometimes it's an entity that's attached to that person that is trying to get to that person's destiny. So, for example, a entity would be attached to Offset to get to Cardi B. That's how destiny swapping works, because that entity does not want you to fulfill your destiny. So just the cheating and the him doing stuff purposely to mess with her mentally, him basically knocking her off her game, because, and let's really be honest, you know, I can't say what's going to happen, but what from how it looks since they've been together, she hasn't been focused. She has not been focused. Like, she has not been releasing music. I think it's been 6 years since she released an album. So that just goes to show you, like, it was like planned. Like, when it comes to destiny swapping, the person is going to slowly remove you from your destiny. They're not going to do it real fast and just kill you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Snap your neck and, oh, it's over with. Her destiny's over with. No, I'm going to slowly be there. And I'm going to, like, do little things to, like, just to keep you off of your A game, to kind of deter you from your journey of getting to your destiny. And to me, a sign, an indication of somebody a man specifically trying to destiny swap with a woman is if he gets her pregnant. And I don't know why a lot of men think like, oh, because because she's pregnant, like her soul belongs to me, when that's not the case. When women finally wake up, they understand it. But you just notice how, like, they use the baby as like a tool to continue the destiny swapping. And you'll notice how frustrated they get when they notice those tools are not working. Because another thing too, we all have spirit guides. So a lot of the times our spirit guides are working 3 times as harder to keep you from swapping destinies with a certain person. And you will see a person get real frustrated. You will see a person start telling, like DDG did, telling the girl business and pillow talking with other people and just airing all like information out and like doing little things to piss her off. That's what it is. It's like I want a lot of women to wake up to this because they're doing it every day. I want women to wake up and also understand that men have just as much intuition, strong intuitions, strong sense of self, and they know what they're doing a lot of the times. Now, like I said, an entity can be attached to that person, but entities need vessels. Entities need brains. Like, they can't just get anybody. They have to attach themselves to somebody that they know can get them to that person.
Before I go on, I don't view Cardi as a vessel or messenger of God, but I'm using her relationship as an example because she's a public figure, making it easier to illustrate this point for a wider audience. However, this dynamic isn't limited to celebrities. You can see the same patterns play out in everyday relationships. When a man tries to swap destinies with his woman, it's often more than just human jealousy at play. It can be the enemy operating through him. Spiritual warfare isn't always external. Sometimes the attack comes from the people closest to us. An entity can attach itself to a man, influencing him to compete with his woman, rather than protect her. This spirit works to delay or even destroy her destiny by turning her supposed partner into her adversary. Instead of covering her, he begins to drain her. Instead of encouraging her, he subtly or overtly undermines her. He may start resenting her growth, sabotaging her opportunities, or even gaslighting her into believing she's not as gifted or favored as she truly is. This is a strategic attack because if the enemy can use him to destabilize her, it weakens her spiritually, mentally, and emotionally. The goal isn't just to delay her, it's to make her doubt her calling, question her purpose, and ultimately forfeit the blessings assigned to her. The enemy understands that a woman walking fully in her divine purpose is a force to be reckoned with. That's why he sends distractions, and sometimes those distractions come in the form of a man who should have been her protector, but instead becomes her competitor.
I was being competitive. And I'm like, wait, so tell me, how was I being competitive? And motherfucker said, when you posted my album, you said I'm next. And I'm like, I wasn't even trying to be competitive. That didn't even cross my mind. So that means that a motherfucker was competing with me. Can you believe that? Can you believe that I had the enemy in my bed all along? I wasn't only competing with these bitches. I was competing with my nigga. And I didn't even fucking know. That's crazy.
When a man attempts to swap destinies with his woman, he no longer sees her as a partner but as a rival. Instead of uplifting her, he begins to compete with her, mirroring her strengths, undermining her successes, and resenting the light she carries. His love turns transactional, his admiration tainted by jealousy. He starts craving the recognition, favor, or blessings meant for her, believing they should be his instead. This silent rivalry warps the relationship, turning it from a union into a battlefield where he no longer protects her, but seeks to outshine her. Every time she's about to drop a new album, he gets her pregnant. Every time she's ready to leave him, he traps her with another pregnancy. Every time she's focused on herself, getting her body done, or something big is about to happen in her life, he holds her back with yet another pregnancy.
The fact that it's not about family anymore.
For sure, no.
It's not about family, and Offset's the type of person to where the fact that he tweeted that "You're my BM, I won," like it's some type of competition, like he wants to have all this power over her. Yeah, he tweeted like "I won." She's my. Oh, he commented something like that.
Respectfully, from a financial standpoint, he did win.
Like I said, it's not about.
She owe him child support. That shit go left.
It is up. And that, but I don't even think it's about child support. I think it's about having control over her.
No, 100%.
And he's one of those where if he can't have her, he don't want nobody else to have her.
Of course.
You feel me? Like,
some men view impregnating a successful woman as a form of conquest, as if they've won some sort of competition. To them, it's not just about having a child, it's about permanently securing access to her life, her resources, and her energy. In their minds, she is now tied to them forever, making it harder for her to move on or focus solely on her success. Some even believe that by having their child, she loses value in the eyes of other potential partners, as if she's now used goods and no longer desirable. This mentality stems from a toxic mix of control, entitlement, and insecurity. Rather than celebrating a woman's achievements, they seek to tether her to their legacy, ensuring she can never fully escape their influence.
Now, I know good and goddamn well Offset did not just weaponize the fact that he got his wife pregnant. He called his wife, his ex-wife, a baby mama as an insult. Wow. When I was about 20, 21 years old, I had a boyfriend that, listen, let's just say we were not equals, but he was my man and I loved him. So I ended up pregnant. Of course, eventually something's going to happen. So he told me that he got me pregnant on purpose. He told me straight up that he got me pregnant on purpose, knowing he was not doing right by me, but he wanted me pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Nobody's safe, not even the wives. A baby mama, everybody knows I don't want you. That was your wife. That was your wife.
Brandy Norwood is another great example of a derailed destiny. She made history as the first Black actress to portray Cinderella on screen in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, 1997, starring alongside Whitney Houston. At the peak of her career, she became pregnant with her daughter. To protect her image, she and producer Robert Big Bert Smith falsely claimed they were married on the Oprah Winfrey Show, as having a child out of wedlock was still heavily stigmatized. While this may not have been a case of outright destiny swapping, it certainly aligns with the enemy's tactics of using relationships as a means to derail those with a bright future. Sometimes, the enemy doesn't need to remove someone directly, but instead introduces an agent to serve as a distraction or stumbling block. In Brandy's case, what should have been a time of continued success turned into a period of controversy and career setbacks. While Brandy remained in the industry, her career never fully rebounded. This is yet another example of a promising young woman whose success was derailed by a relationship. The enemy often uses people as distractions to shift individuals off their destined path. Her story serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of discernment in relationships and the hidden spiritual battles behind career setbacks. Ballerina Farm is yet another case of baby entrapment. This man systematically dismantled her dreams of becoming a ballerina and trapped her in motherhood. We know how deeply she aspired to be a ballerina, something that requires years of rigorous training and discipline. It's not a casual pursuit like picking up a basketball game. She wasn't initially interested in him because she was focused on her ambitions. But coming from an immensely wealthy and powerful family, he was accustomed to getting what he wanted. Leveraging his father's connections, who owns multiple airlines, he secured a seat on the plane she was taking back to New York, positioning himself to further influence her. Despite her initial rejections, he persisted until she relented. Just a month into the relationship, she had promising projects she was eager about, but she lost them. In an old post, she even wrote about how happy he was when that happened. He had already come prepared with an engagement ring, and despite her explicitly stating she wasn't ready for marriage, they became engaged after just a month of dating. She had also made it clear that she didn't want children for at least a year, yet they were married within 3 months and started having children immediately. Now, they have 8. From past interviews, it's evident that he disapproves of nannies or any external support. He wanted her entirely consumed by domestic life. So now the question remains, was this truly her choice, or was the illusion of choice carefully manufactured? Their story is nothing short of unsettling.
So let me get this straight. You have 8 kids by somebody. You give up all your dreams of being a world-renowned dancer at one of the most prestigious dance schools in the entire world to love, support, and cherish your husband and your family. Cool, understand that. So on top of having to raise 8 kids with no help at all, no child services, no nothing, being stuck in the house 24/7, caring for these children and your husband, so exhausted that you cannot even get out of the bed for an entire week. And not because you cannot afford it, but because your husband won't allow you any of these luxuries while being a billionaire, not millionaire, billionaire. On this huge plot of land, you have no space for yourself, your own, or any of your failed dreams. that you had to give up. You cannot even have a small space on this huge piece of land. You telling me your birthday rolls around and your man who owns an airline cannot even get you tickets to go on vacation just so you can get a moment of breath and relaxation from this hard lifestyle you have to live? People, if you want to know what oppression looks like, this is what it looks like. I would not wish this life on my worst enemy. But here's the kicker. Not even that you didn't get the gift that you wanted. He got you an apron that even shows you need to go do more work in the kitchen. You can't make this stuff up. If you want to know what gaslighting, love bombing, manipulation, entrapment looks like, this is the poster story of it. It's not a coincidence that you got pregnant as soon as you were chasing your dreams. It's not a coincidence that you had to drop out of school and stop your dreams in order to get married earlier than you wanted to even get married. It's not a coincidence that instead of getting you anything that inspires your dreams or gives you space to breathe, you get locked into more trauma. This is what entrapment looks like. I wish her the best. God bless her.
Stop giving up your dream for love. I could be in love with you, but if it's compromising losing myself, I'm out of there. Ballerina Farm, let's talk about it. I'm triggered. If y'all have not heard about this Ballerina Farm story, I'm gonna just break it down to you real quickly and then I'm gonna get into my actual opinion about it. So apparently, this beautiful woman who was an amazing dancer got offered like a full scholarship to Juilliard, which if y'all know anything about Juilliard is like one of the hardest schools to get into as a dancer, as an artist in general. It's like not an easy school to get into. She got offered a full scholarship. She meets this guy who apparently his family is very, very wealthy. I want to say the family owns JetBlue, if I'm not mistaken. So he has a lot of money. They meet each other. They fall in love with each other. And very quickly after they started dating, he proposes to her. They get married. He then tells her, like, I see my life being this type of way on a farm. She gets pregnant, so obviously she cannot go to Juilliard, and she's pregnant and she's a ballerina. She basically just gives up her life in order to be his wife and to help his dream come true about being on this farm. They now have 8 kids. This is her life now. Also, from what I'm hearing about the story is that he does not believe in having any outside help to raise his kids, so it's just them on this farm with 8 kids. She said that she's literally like exhausted. It's 8 kids. I know, me being a auntie, I get exhausted fast. You got 8 kids with no help? That's crazy. Actual viral story that I keep seeing all up and down my timeline is that her birthday was coming and she wanted a trip to Greece. You know, this man got her an apron. If that is not a clear, I see you as this, baby, I don't know what else. Our interpretation is that that's the only thing that she received for her birthday. You have an abundance of wealth. This woman is taking care of 8 kids alone. You got her an apron? So now my opinion. Women, the biggest advice that I can give any of y'all is to stop giving up your dream for love. I'm sorry, I had to say it. To be completely honest with y'all, because we family, y'all know this is Cousin Central over here. I was in a relationship that I wanted to work so badly that I literally told the guy, I was like, I will give up everything for you. Insane. I would never do that. ever, 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 ever. The me that is here now, ever. It creates so much resentment. I was even looking back and I purposely was not having certain meetings, going to certain events because I was like, I don't want to make this man jealous. I don't want to make anything shaky. I don't want anything but peace with the person that I'm saying that I love. Now that I look at it, I'm just like, oh my God, all the people that I was supposed to meet with that I didn't go meet with, they're so successful right now. Not saying that I'm not. Like, I love where God has me and I love the lessons that I had to learn along the way, but I'm just like, what would have happened if I actually went out to the places that I was supposed to go to, meet with the people I was supposed to meet with, and said, you know what, this guy may feel however he feels, but I'm gonna go do what I'm supposed to be here to do. It hurts my soul as a woman to see somebody in that cycle of life where it's like you gave up your biggest dream in order to make this man's dream real life. So please, if there's anything that y'all can take from this situation, is to create those boundaries quickly when you start dating somebody, and also asking the right questions. I love love, and I think it's the most beautiful thing ever, but without knowing how a person visualizes you and their life, or visualizes how they want their life to look, you need to know these things before you commit to somebody, before you have a baby with somebody, before you decide to get married to somebody, and now your whole lives are like together. I really understand that saying that our grandmas used to be saying, like, honey, there's not enough love in the world to do something like that.
Baby trapping is never just about securing a relationship. It's often a tool for destiny manipulation. Whether it results in a full-blown destiny swap, a significant delay, or complete derailment, the consequences are always life-altering. When a child is used as a means of control, both the parent and the child risk being caught in a cycle of spiritual, emotional, and even financial bondage. The enemy thrives on disorder, and few things cause more disruption than a life path forcefully altered. This is why discernment is crucial, because not every connection is divine. The enemy is strategic and may even send you a counterfeit divine man, designed to look like a blessing but sent to steal, delay, or destroy your destiny. Not every person who enters your life is from God, and not every relationship is aligned with your purpose. Protect your purpose, guard your destiny, and never underestimate the power of intentionality in relationships.